I linked up Moses to Melissa Yumbia, who's the founder and managing director of Urban Live Events. Melissa is an experienced marketing and events professional with over 15 years experience in the events field, a design and decor specialist who deliver quality, unique concepts for corporate and social events. Prior to joining the events industry, Melissa worked in the telecommunication and real estate sector.
Hi Melissa.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Moses. I'm from Mosaic Events. We specialize in decoration, wedding decoration and other events. It's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard so much about Urban Live. I've seen it on your pages, I've seen it on your website. Yeah, so how has been your journey and how did you start?
I think our journey has been just, like any entrepreneur's journey.
Yeah.
There's been ups and downs. We've been in operation. We're turning 10 on the 29th of January.
Yeah.
So 10 years of running the business.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think how it's been is exactly what I said. I think it's just been a lot of highs, lows between political pandemics and just environmental changes.
Yes.
So, yes.
Okay. So what inspired the name behind Urban Live and what was the idea behind the name?
So when we started the company, the vision was to have it to do a lot of live concerts. Actually,
yes.
The inception, and I think I don't know if I'm the only one who finds myself in these positions. But when you start the business, what you think you're going to do, or what you think is going to be the first product, is not necessarily what will ride you through till the end.
Yes.
So we started off with online music distribution, and thought that events would be the final thing we'd do later in the years.
Yeah.
Interesting thing was events then turned around to be the thing that we started doing because that's what we were known for, and we'd get called to do a lot more.
Yeah.
And at the time the industry was not ready for the music distribution. So we turned around, and how the name came about, because we thought we were going to do a lot of concerts in the end, was to have more, what we wanted them to be was urban, very hip and fresh and live events. So that's how we got Urban Live.
So you studied it alone or you studied some people?
No, I have directors. We have 3 other directors.
Yeah.
Founding, yes, I did start alone, but as we've gone along, yes.
Okay. So what are actually the challenges that you faced towards the planning and everything when you started, and now the process that you're growing? What are the kind of challenges that you faced in between?
I think it was constantly trying to stay above your competition.
Yeah.
And which is basically what's your competitive advantage.
Yeah.
As the market keeps growing, as the industry keeps growing, there are a lot of event companies that have come up.
Exactly.
And you have to keep reinventing and redefining yourselves.
Exactly.
So I think that is one of the things that has been, I think if there's one thing that remains constant, it's change.
Yeah.
So we have been adapting. We started off as event planners. We then reinvented and put on hold the planning process, and now went into more product-based. So we now build a lot of our own custom products.
Yes.
And have imported some. So now we have a lot more products to offer. So when we say we supply design and decor, so the decor is now the physical products that we provide. The design aspect has also been part of our reinvention, which is where we are able to curate concepts. So like, for example, I meet with you, Moses, and we sit down and you tell me I'm having a wedding or I'm having a corporate function.
Yes.
I have this theme. Can go and think of something beautiful for us to do that will make our guests feel special.
Exactly.
So we conceptualize. That's what we now call the design aspect of it, and then the decor is the supply chain.
Exactly. So like you said that there's so many event companies that have come up in the industry. So what makes you actually try to do something different, not like every other person, but every day when you get an event, you want to do something different to impress the client? What inspires that?
I think it's the need to be different.
Yeah.
If there's one thing we really love to and stick to as a mantra for us, is to stay urban.
Exactly. It's just a name.
Urban, yes,
Yeah, exactly.
Very urban niche. What's happening, what's in at the moment, and then give it a twist that's only yours.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we're very big on design, because the design part allows us to be very creative, to come up with our own ideas. Take what you want, you come and tell me this is what I want, then we'll give a twist to it that just makes it yours.
Exactly.
You won't come and find the same thing we did for you or for your wedding is the same thing we did for somebody else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, you specialize on a wide range of events, like the one of the kite festivals that you do, and weddings and corporate events. How did you come about doing something like that? Because you find some people that just specialize on weddings, others will only do corporate, but you do all of them.
You see, once you have products, then you open yourself up to a wider range of people to supply to. Because if you think about it, if it's centerpieces, tables, chairs, tentage, everybody needs that in the event. So you end up finding yourself growing without necessarily realizing it.
Yes.
So that is how we're able to supply. We don't supply to everyone. It's impossible to supply to everyone.
Exactly,
we don't have that much product. Nobody has that much product. What we do is we also have our segments, we have our target market.
Yeah.
And so we mostly work with, our range of products is mostly luxury. So we do find ourselves supplying more for niche, middle, and upper class.
Okay. And you operate countrywide or just within Nairobi?
We operate countrywide, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how do you go about pricing your clients? Like you find different clients with different budget. How do you go about pricing so that you don't lose a client or you don't overcharge a client or undercharge something?
I think one of the beautiful things about product is there's already a market value.
Yeah.
For example, if you come and tell me a Shavari seat, the market rate is the same. So it doesn't, I won't charge somebody a higher rate for it just because you're a corporate so there's already a rate across board.
Yeah.
I think now where the difference comes in is the design aspect of it, where that is a service.
Yeah.
And for you, it's what you feel you should pay for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then it also depends on how much is being put into it. So how much is fleshed into the concept.
Yeah.
So the concept actually defines what the budget will be.
Okay.
So those elements, you know, when you say maybe I want a very grand entryway, I want lots of flowers. You see, when we break down the lots of flowers, that's what determines what the cost is. Then you decide if you feel comfortable or let's scale it down.
Yes. And now another thing is that pandemic came, and with lockdowns and everything, so many people are being affected. Like for us, we're in the event industry, we are so much affected. How was it to you? How did you feel? How did you come up back to your feet again after that?
I think it would be unfair to say that we're back on our feet.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is everybody is kind of trying to find their footing.
Exactly.
And we're no different. This is part of what we're calling change. This is another layer of change we're trying to adapt to.
Yes.
One of the things I think we had to do was we had to scale back. One, there weren't as many events happening as we wanted there to be.
True.
Because of lockdown, a lot of people had to cancel. Corporates actually have not really had events in the last year.
Yeah.
For private functions, actually for weddings, people love must endure. So people have to get married. They'll find a way to get married.
Yeah.
So I think one of the ways that we're adapting is just trying to understand what our new customer needs are and adapting to be able to supply for that. And so the right answer would be, we are still finding our footing because COVID is not over.
Yeah. Are there challenges that you faced when you started and now at the point you are right now?
Continuous.
Yeah, continuous.
I think it's change. Change is, it has its positives and its negatives. Adapting to the change, especially like now, in an unknown environment. We don't know when COVID will end. We don't know if there'll be another upsurge. We don't know if there'll be more lockdowns. So I think it's trying to find strategies and products that work despite Mother Nature.
Yeah, exactly. And now again, just another question that I'd like to ask is that you have a wide range of corporate companies and multinational companies as well that you're working with. How did you achieve this?
Referral.
Referral, yeah.
It is referral. One, referral. Two, and actually referral based on working with one, they're happy with your service because of your quality, your professionalism, and then moving on. Also going out there and just putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Approaching them, what's the worst they can say? No, Or yes, yes. So
Okay.
we've had to put ourselves out there and approach the companies that we want to work with.
Yeah, so Melissa, how do you see yourself in 3 years to come?
Wow. I see ourselves back on our feet, stronger than ever, and with a wider range of services. Reinvented, our design aspect should be the best among the best in Eastern and Central Africa.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'd like to appreciate this time and for taking your time to meet us, and I've learned so much about you, and I'd like to work together and maybe learn more and get to know each other more in future.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Melissa.
All right, pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for having watched the show. Hope you've learned a thing or two from the conversation between the entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur out there and you'd like to be a part of the show, remember you can always reach us on our social media handles, which are running below the screen, at @KTN_Home_, at Ian Dennis Network. See you next week, same time, right here on KTN Home.